It's me, JC, back with another Ceramic Hour live stream. So I was thinking I want to make like more mugs for our potential getting into like a market. It's not a holiday market. It's like a one in the spring. I'm just trying to like get a collection of things together that I feel like would be good for the market if I can get in. So I want to have a bunch of like mugs. So I was thinking we could do a slab built mug again. We do have one that we made. I don't know. So the last slab built things that we started, there's like maybe 4 things, including I think it was like 2 pitchers, a mug, and a bowl. Oh wait, no, 2 bowls, a pitcher, and a mug. And the cracks, they have cracks on the bottom, because I was like coiling the base and it's just not really working out. Oh yeah, I forgot. This is one of them. I showed this in an earlier stream. I forgot why I set this out, and now I remember. Because we are going to break this up, and I'm going to put in my reclaim. My reclaim bucket is like full, so I don't know. We're just going to set that off to the side. And then we have these bowls sitting here that I need to trim later. We already did like 2 videos of bowl trimming, so I don't want to bore you too much. So we'll just set that off to the side. Normally I don't like to have too many projects going at once, but I think like all we have like waiting are those 2. That one is pretty much done. I just need to like fix it up a little bit. So yeah, let me check out this clay. Wow. So, oh yeah, this is like, it's like pretty wet. Wow, there's a bunch of, this is hard as a rock. Let me like clean up some of this dusty bits here. You kind of want to avoid clay dust going everywhere, especially in the air. So let me see. This is I put this on the wheel and I was trying to throw it and it just wasn't working out, so I took it off the wheel. I don't know. No, it's a little bit too wet, I think. So let me just set this off to the side here, and it can dry a teeny bit. So let me just kind of like check out this piece of clay. This is probably hard as rock. Yeah, that one's kind of like hard as rock too. Okay. This is why I need to check on my clay like all the time. Alright, we'll just grab some clay fresh from the bag. I just like to use up whatever I have like sitting out here before it like dries up too much. Okay. Let me see. I wonder if we should get my other clay. Yeah, I guess we can grab the other clay. I'm sorry. I'm like all over the place. Okay, so this is porcelain. I have been struggling a little bit with porcelain because you're not supposed to be using it for hand building. So let me just grab my stoneware. Okay. Alright, we got some stoneware. They're so similar, I often forget which one is which. Like, I have to look at the bag to see. Okay. Let me just grab a bit of this. It's like a pretty big chunk. Okay. I don't know how much we're gonna want. I'll grab a tiny bit more, I guess. Okay. Okay, so now I've got a bunch of dust here. All right. So what we want to do, I'm just gonna like smush down any bits of like slightly more dry clay bits, so they're not going all over the place. All right, so let's kind of see how much we're gonna need for a for the base. So we're just gonna do it like, we're gonna slab roll the base because the coiling has not been working out for like any of the bases that we did. This is probably more than enough. I'll just take a little bit of that off. Okay. So let me squish this together real quick, and then we are going to wedge it. And then we're gonna roll out our slab. I'm just kind of like smush it around a little bit more. Some parts of it are like a little I don't think they're really that dry. I think they just kind of need to be moved around a little bit. All right, so let me just get this into like a nice wedging shape. Okay, I'll just like note that I don't know if I exactly wedge the right way. So this part's not really a tutorial. None of this is really a tutorial. This is just like watching me, a day in the life of somebody that does ceramics, just so you know. I'm not really like, okay, it's been a while since I actually did ceramics in my class, and then like I'm more of like a wheel thrower than a hand builder, so I might not be hand building quite right, but we're learning. So I'm just gonna add a little bit of water to my wedging board, just so that it doesn't dry the clay out too much. It does definitely dry it out quite a bit while we are wedging, because it is it's just canvas stapled to a piece of wood, so the canvas really draws out a lot of moisture from it. And then this is kind of like, it's like fresh clay, but it's making me like kind of tired. So we really just want to compress the clay and definitely like get any air bubbles out. We don't want any air bubbles in our slab. And then I'm just kind of moving it around a little bit because some areas are, I don't know, they're just looking a little bit more wet, and I don't want the clay to stick to it too much if that area is like a little bit too wet on my board here. Oh, underglasses are getting knocked around. I bet this is like way bigger than what we actually even need. So I'm like, sometimes I underestimate like how much we need, which is really annoying for like a slab that you're trying to roll out, because then it's like, okay, we don't have enough, and then we have to wedge all over again. So I've been like highly overestimating how much we need. So that's okay. All right, so let me just kind of like, I don't know, roll it into like a ball or like a cylinder or something. Maybe the ball would be better, actually. We want something that would be kind of pretty uniform in shape, whatever that looks like. Okay, I'm just kind of flatten it a little bit. I saw some people, some hand builders do this on YouTube. Who knows if they know what they're doing, but I saw that they kind of like push their clay down quite a bit before they actually start like using like a rolling pin or like whatever you're gonna use to like fully flatten it. Because then you don't, if you just have like a cylinder or a ball or whatever, it kind of like will start to fold over on itself and be really weird. But here we don't have that. So I think this is probably better to do. I don't know if this part's really necessary. Okay. Yeah, this is like already like more than what we even need. Let me get mine. Alright, so I have my rolling pin. Let me see how tall I want it. My rolling pin has these little bumpers on it, but I think we might want a little bit taller than that. This is usually what I use for like plates or something for the foot, but I don't know. I kind of feel like maybe we should do something a little bit taller. So I'm gonna grab these like paint stir sticks. Just kind of see, I don't know, maybe like 3 or 4. I'm not sure. Yeah, 3 lifts this up. So we'll put 3 on both sides. I don't know, we'll just kind of see how this looks. And then we have such a large shape here, it doesn't really matter if it is a circle or not, because it's like way more, it's like it's like 3 times the size of what we actually need. That's okay. All right, so we just flattened all of it now, so we'll put this away. I am so tired now. All right, so now what we want to do is compress the clay with our rib. Let's change the angle a little bit here. Sorry, my camera is very wobbly. So we're gonna take the flat side and then we're gonna just kind of like go around and just like put some pressure down on there. You don't want too much clay on the rib because then it's gonna start doing like a bit of that. Yeah, let me get this in frame more. I don't, because I'm not really like a hand builder, I never took any hand building classes. I don't know like how much you're supposed to like compress each side. I definitely tried to do it enough so that you get rid of like any of the maybe like kind of like cracks or weird spots. And then you want to flip it and you want to do the other side, and then you do that a few times so that you are also compressing in different like different angles. So right now we're going this way, and then I don't think you can see very much like on the camera the direction, but you can kind of see it in the clay. And then we'll just turn it and then do another direction. You're gonna lose a little bit of height here, but that's okay if you rolled out enough. See, now it does like that. It does like some streaks if you have like a little bit of clay on here. Okay. And we're just applying pressure while we do this. Just kind of guessing like which direction to go in. Okay, I think I'll do this side one more time, and then I think it might be good. Okay, and now that we're done with that, I'm going to get my like little plastic potter's knife, and we are going to cut out a shape. I'm gonna grab this mug that I have. The top is slightly larger than the bottom, just because it's like pretty beveled out. So I think we'll just use this. There's like dust on our slab now. Annoying. Okay. So let's just grab maybe here-ish. And just kind of like draw out maybe Okay, so our coil is going to sort of like half sit on the base here, and then the other half is going to be kind of like pushed down, covering the base. So we're just going to take that into consideration while we cut this out. And then as the clay is going to dry, it's going to dry and shrink, and then when it's bisqued, it's going to shrink, and then when it's glaze fired, it's going to shrink. So we do want this to be like a bit bigger than what we would like the final piece to be. I don't really know how much this is going to shrink, so we're just kind of guessing. This mug over here that I just used, it is like a little bit of a bigger, oh my gosh, I'm just like, what the heck? It's a little bit bigger than maybe one of my ideal mugs, so just so you know, whatever. Just having a stroke over here. All right, we got our base. I don't know if you are supposed to like wedge coils. I feel like probably not. But okay, I'm not really sure about that part. But I don't think I've really had an issue with like the walls of our pieces, so I think we're okay not doing, I don't know, like, I mean, I don't really know the whole compression part with coils, but I think we're good skipping that part. Okay, so we are scoring the base here. And let me get my little pottery knife. I'm just gonna cut this up and use this for the coils. Where do I put this? You kind of like put that over there. We need a little bit more space, actually. Okay, let's see how much we have here. I don't like to roll out too much because it just kind of flaps around everywhere. So I don't know. Let's see how much we can get out of this. I should probably make these a little bit bigger than I normally do. I don't know. I think like looking at videos of other people, I don't feel like I'm rolling out like enough for the coils. I'm very like stingy about it. Okay, well, let's just see like how much we can get out of this bit, and like it's fine. We're just gonna grab more clay and just keep doing this until all of the walls are done. So you need like quite a bit of space to do like a large bit of clay too. Okay, maybe that's good. Alright, so I'm just trying to make this end a little bit more uniform. And then we are going to, we're going to score like the ends here because they're going to be connecting. I think it might depend on like your clay and like maybe like how dry it is. If you need to do scoring and slipping. Mine is like pretty, I don't know. I'm not sure if I notice much of a difference between this one and the porcelain. I normally don't. But I was wondering if I would notice like more of a difference. Actually hand building this like with coils. I don't think it matters when I do like the little pinch pots maybe. But you're really like moving the clay quite a bit more, like moving it around more when you're doing this. Okay, so I watched some videos and you should kind of like be pushing it together, and we're kind of like mostly like moving from one end to the other. So just kind of like holding this, and then what we're adding is like pushing it into that side. And then that should help like compress this. And then we want it to hang off like maybe about half the coil. Because well, we're gonna get a little ahead of ourselves. We need to finish like this part, but basically what we're gonna be doing is just like pushing this down. Let me get a close up. So we're just gonna be pushing this down and basically covering the foot. And this is definitely why a lot of potters are making very large coils, unlike what I was doing earlier. And mine is just like cracking like crazy, but that's not really that bad. So that's what we're gonna kind of basically start off with, and then we're gonna do the same on the inside here, but let's just wait until we add our other coil. So let's grab some more clay. I'm just kind of guessing like how much would be like a good size coil. Just add a little bit more water in here because rolling this up on the canvas does dry it out a little bit. Let's like move you a little bit further away. It's like way too close. I feel like the less I think about the rolling, the better it turns out. You want it to actually be a cylinder, but then like when you're rolling it out, sometimes it's like trying to like this one, it's like flattening a bit. You really want to try not to make it flat. So, I don't know. Let's just see how much we, yeah, not, when it's like flopping around like that, it's like, that means it's like flat. Okay. And I mean, we want to try and make it pretty, like a pretty uniform size throughout. And then the little ends here, we're gonna kind of just like smush those around because they kind of taper off a little bit. I think this is about the size, like thickness wise, as our other one. And then we're going to go ahead and we're gonna score the ends, and then we're gonna score like just kind of like one side of this. Okay. All right, and then we're gonna add some water. Some people will use slip for the like attachment part instead of water, but you can use whatever you feel like. I don't feel like the water is that bad for what, I don't know, I guess like with my clay and whatever. I feel like the water works fine, so that's why I use. I don't have any slip sitting around. If you don't know, slip is it's basically watered down clay to the point where it is like pretty like liquidy. Like it's very liquidy clay. So that can be a really good kind of like adhesion type of thing for clay if you feel like the water isn't working as well. And that's super easy to do. It's basically the same thing that you would do with reclaim. So like you just have like whatever it, you know, maybe it's bone dry, maybe it's like this wet or whatever. You have your clay and then just, you know, put it in like some kind of cup or whatever, put a bunch of water in there, and then just kind of like, you know, add the water until you get to the right consistency of it being like, I don't know. I'm not really sure like what consistency slip would be. I've never made any slip before. But it's just like, I don't know, it's pretty liquidy. I'm not very much help. You know, you can go find another YouTube video of somebody that actually had slip made up. It's the same, obviously, for slip casting molds. So, like, you pour the watery clay into a plaster mold, and then I think you let it sit a little bit, and then you dump it out. And then you let it sit even longer. And then you can open up the mold, and then your piece, you have your little slip mold piece. A lot of well, I watch Shelby Sherritt. She has a lot of slip cast mold videos. If you want to check her out, if you go to my profile and then go all the way to the bottom, I have a bunch of other YouTubers that I recommend, and she's in that list. If you want to check her out, she's cool. She has quite a few like series of like mystery molds. She just like got some random molds from some people, and then she fills them up and then reveals it as a surprise, and then usually decorates it unless she thinks it's very horrifying. They're all I think they're all vintage molds, so there's like really weird stuff in there, like clowns and creepy little children. That kind of stuff sometimes. Yeah. So let's see. I don't know. I'm just kind of like fiddling with this a little bit. Kind of smooth this out. Okay. Thinking about molds, I would really like to get some. I think that'd be really cool for things I don't like making, like mugs. So I put some on my like Christmas list, and I'm hoping maybe my mom will get me some for Christmas. They're even though like I don't even know. I don't know if there even are places that like currently make them like brand new. There are some places on Etsy that it seems like they are, but a lot of the molds that I see are like vintage and they're very old. I don't really know if like there are many places that even currently make molds. Here in town we have Georgie's. They are a local ceramic store, but you might have heard of them. They have like clay and their glazes in like a variety of like online shops. And they used to make slip molds, but I don't think they do anymore. I've never even like going to their store. They don't even have any in there. I was like so shocked. I was watching Shelby Sherritt, her pottery videos, and she because a lot of them are like, well, you could maybe find them on Craigslist or something like you know, or like maybe eBay, those kind of places, Facebook Marketplace. So she'll kind of like look at the mold and like show you if there are any like indications as to like who made it. And she had some from Georgie's and I was like, what? I was like, wait, like Georgie's like here in Portland? Because Shelby is in Australia. And I was like, what? And Georgie's has like the worst website ever. I'm sorry, but it's true. It looks like it's from like, I don't even know, the 90s or something. Like their website is horrible. It's not up to date. I can't imagine that you could go on their website and buy molds at any point in time. I really don't even know. Especially overseas to Australia. So I'm like, what? I was like, how did she get this? Where did this come from? She probably doesn't even know like the original. Like she probably bought it from somebody on eBay or maybe was gifted it or something. I think some of her molds, I think she was gifted. But I'm just like, what? I need to know more, but I don't think there is any more to know. But yeah, I don't see a lot of, I don't even see a lot of places that sell molds other than like used places. Like what I just, mentioned, Facebook Marketplace, eBay, Craigslist. I asked Reddit. Oh my gosh. I asked Reddit. I was like, where, like, other than like, these used places, like eBay, like where do people buy like slip molds? And people gave me these websites and they're like, oh my God. Someone commented and they're like, I didn't have any trouble finding any websites. I was like, oh, really? They're just like, I Googled it. I look at the websites that these people posted and they are ancient. They are like, they're so ancient. Like, it's like, they're so weird. There's this one. They look so old. They don't even look like they're capable of taking orders. Like, they're just, I don't know. I don't know how old these websites are, or when websites were first created. But they are like at that. They're from back in the day, certainly, and they have not changed. And I'm like, bruh, like, can you even like order from these sites? Like, this is not what I had in mind when I was asking people for like the websites where they order molds. Like, I was thinking of something like Bailey's Pottery. Like, they have a website and stuff, but I don't see any slip molds on there. What was it? There's this one that's called like the ceramic store or the big ceramic store, something like that. like, I don't know. I was thinking like one of those or something. Those are actual, like, they look like regular websites. You guys, seriously, I'll have to go see what they found and put it in the description when I upload this to YouTube. You have to go in the description and check it out because they're hilarious. How flippin' ancient they are. I'm just like, are you guys seriously buying things from these websites? Like, they look so sketchy. Like, they look like a scam, maybe. Like, it's like, oh yes, give us your credit card information and then we will never ship you the thing. Like, it just looks so sketchy. Like a beginner, like, coder made it, but like way back in the day or something. I don't even know. They're just hilarious. I like, when I saw it, I was going on those websites, I was just like cracking up laughing because I'm a graphic designer, and at one point I had to make websites and all of that, and I don't know. Just like, I don't know. I just thought it was so funny. But these places are so weird. This one, so I'm not exactly sure what is happening, but I'm pretty sure the way that you're supposed to order is they have like, I think they have these like PDFs and stuff of catalogs from places that make molds, like Duncan Ceramics is an example. So they have these catalogs, and then you go through the catalog, and then you like somehow add like the catalog thing to your cart or something. I don't know. It's so weird. The website's so weird. There is like, it's very confusing because it's so old. It's really, I'm sure it was confusing back in the day, probably. I'm sorry, but it's just so funny. I just can't. I don't want to be like mean to these people that have these, that run the websites, but it's just, I'm sorry. It's just, I think it's just funny. So yeah, so it's really funny because the catalogs don't even have photos for all of the pieces that they're trying to sell, which is like, I can't deal with it. I just, why? How? Why do you think somebody is gonna buy it if they don't even know what it looks like? Like, what? It's so ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. I can't. And then on their website, there's a bunch of like info that the person that like runs the shop, they say stuff like, they're like, if the catalog doesn't have a photo of the mold, I'm not gonna take one for you. I'm just like, I can't. It's so funny. It's just like, why would anybody like think that somebody's just gonna randomly buy a mold that, like, I don't know, molds can be kind of expensive, even the used ones on like Craigslist. Even used ones will be like between $30 $30 to $50, and then on top of that the shipping is like at least $20. A lot of times I think it can be up to $50, And it's like, why would anybody in their right mind spend all of this money on a mold that they don't even know what it looks like? Like, I don't even, I didn't spend like a ton of time on this website. I mean, even if there were like good descriptions, like, I just don't think that you could possibly like really capture like what it looks like just from a description. Like, unless you just really did not care, like you were not picky like whatsoever. Because if you just like think of like if you just think of like animation and like most people think like cartoons. I don't really like the word cartoon because I don't know, it just implies that it's like for kids, but there are a lot of like animated like TV shows and whatever that are not for kids, like Rick and Morty. I don't know, I don't like the word cartoon, but they're illustrations, shows like SpongeBob, Rick and Morty, BoJack Horseman, like all of these things. Like, if you look at all of the ways that they like draw people, it's very different. They, like if you say, oh yes, like if you say a person from this from one show to the next, they're all gonna look really different, or a dog, and like just the art style. So it's like, even if the description for these molds said, oh, this is, I don't know, this is a horse galloping on a pedestal, like the horse can look really different in a lot of ways. Like, if it's like it's not realistic, like it probably wouldn't even say if it looked realistic or not, you know? Or like, I don't know. I guess it depends on like how realistic the thing was. A lot of molds are not, I think a lot of them that I've seen are not really realistic. They look very cartoony. At least like that's kind of like coming from my knowledge of like what I've seen in Shelby's videos, because like she unveils like so many vintage pottery molds. Like that's like all that I know. And I don't know, I think like a lot of potters don't really want something super realistic, and I think a lot of them are kind of like have like more of a defined like art style. So it's like, how could you possibly know what this like mold is gonna look like, even if it did have a description? Like, who would even buy that? It's just like, oh my gosh, this website, you guys need to see the websites. I need to know, if you're a potter and you know places that are like I didn't know I needed to be this specific, but I was kind of thinking like, I don't know, like a modern website that is selling like newly made molds. Like, I didn't think like, I don't even know, like, because some of the molds, like, I guess like this website that I've been talking about, I guess they're not like used, like they haven't been used before or something, but like they are I don't know. I'm so confused. I'm so so confused. Is it just like these companies just have these warehouses of molds that they made in the 80s that never sold, but they're still trying to sell it? I'm so confused. I'm so confused. I never knew that there's like such a, I don't know, thing about the slip molds. Like, I mean, I think the thing might be is that a lot of people will just make their own slip molds, which you can definitely do. I think that's maybe like part of it, is that a lot of potters are like really cheap and they don't want to buy stuff they could just make themselves, which is like such a artist typical thing. Um, I think that's why there aren't very many that are like new um, new types of molds being made. I mean, there are a couple places seemingly on Etsy that are, but like I'm just not. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I should. Maybe I need to do my own like more in-depth research to these places. But I don't know. I think that's why I was so confused, because that Reddit person was like, oh, I didn't have any trouble finding any, but then when I look, it's like that's not what I was expecting. Like like looking at the website, it just looks like all of these are, it's like a secondhand kind of thing. You know, like it doesn't look like a place where you're buying brand new molds. It just, like, because the website's so out of date, it just gives you the feeling that they're not brand new and they are used, which I guess isn't the case. So I think that's where I was confused, because I did ask them for things that were not, I asked the Redditors for things that were not used, but like new molds. I wasn't expecting ancient websites for sure. I guess that's maybe where I went wrong. And why I don't feel like I've seen any, I don't know. But it is like, it's such a weird thing, that like slip molds are just like stuck in the past, I guess. Yeah. So, because the thing that I am mostly kind of like concerned about when buying one is like, well, I would prefer it to be new, if possible, because like the molds can definitely, they wear out over time, like depending on how much it was used. And I don't know if you could really see that, like the wear and tear, very well if you were only buying them online. And I do look occasionally on Facebook Marketplace for any locals that might have some, but I haven't really seen very much. So that's not kind of what I'm concerned about with buying them online, is that like plaster is very, plaster's what they're made of, and it can break, like, you know, if you bang it around and it's from the 60s. Some molds are from the 60s, like they're really old. This is very large. I've just been like, I don't know, maybe this is a bowl. Let's just compare. I think this might be a bowl now. I think we just made a small sized bowl. It's so big. It's okay. We can pivot if we need to. Yeah, let me look at this thing. I don't know. Maybe we can make it work. I think it's really going to depend on like how much we are able to trim. So it is definitely splaying outwards. We can kind of, that's just kind of what's happening. It's pretty typical, I think, of coil building, because you're kind of like putting it like half on, half off ish, maybe, or I don't know. You really want like, I don't know. I think maybe the coil should be big enough to, let me think. I don't know. You want the coil to like overhang. I think I did kind of like forget that we're supposed to be kind of like pushing the walls upward a little bit, and then yeah, so that is supposed to thin them a little bit so that they are smaller than the coils that you're putting on it. And then the coil should overhang a little bit, and then you can flatten it on from the outside and then from the inside. Okay, I think we'll just have to see. This is why I never make mugs, because they always turn out too big, and then I'm just like, I don't know, it's a vase now or something, like I don't know. Let me see. It's like pretty, it's very large. Yeah, I don't know. I think we're gonna have to make this a bowl. I'm sorry. It's just looking like way too large, and I'm like so distracted by like talking this entire time. Okay. It's fine. We'll just make a bowl. It's fine. We lost a couple bowls from the other coils. I do kind of want it to splay out then, if it is going to be a bowl. Like, splay out a little bit more, maybe. What else was I saying? We were kind of in the middle of talking about the mold things, and then this happened, so... we are just about at time, so I'm just gonna throw on this last coil, and then we will just pack this up to continue tomorrow. Oh wait, no, today's Friday. So I don't normally stream on the weekend. Sometimes I might if I feel inclined to, but we are scheduled to stream Monday through Friday. 1 to 2 p.m. Weekdays, because that is when I work, and we stream during my lunch break. So yeah, I guess I'll just kind of like push this down and finish this up. So yeah, so be sure, if you are watching on Twitch, to follow along so you know when I hop on for our live stream. And then all of our live stream videos will be uploaded to YouTube, because they will be deleted off of Twitch after a week. And then on YouTube, you can check out at Callie & Co. all of our other live stream videos, and there are so many. So make sure to check them out. We have so many different videos on there. We have like the majority of the ceramic process, so things we are building from scratch in different ways. We did a lot of pinch potting. We did a couple like slab built things. We have some coiling. Yeah, all kinds of stuff. And then there's I don't have my own kiln, so you don't really see any kind of firing process. I have to go to a studio for that. But then when I get the stuff back, I have some videos showing you me underglazing some pieces and glazing pieces. And then we have a couple videos of like our final outcome of like pieces that you saw me make. And then, you know, and then glaze, and like basically, well, the majority of the process you actually saw it. So I don't know, that's kind of cool. So yeah, be sure to check out the YouTube. And then actually yesterday's video, today, I don't even know what hour we're on. But the video that came before this one, so I showed you guys like the variety of artwork that I make for my shop. All of it is on sale except for the ceramic items, because we're trying to transition from making a bunch of different things to just ceramics. So I'd love it if you guys want to check that out, see the other things that I have made. And then if you want to support my shop, there's a link in my profile or in the description to check it out. All of the non-ceramic items are between 20 to 40% off. So yeah, and I'd really like to start the new year with like a much smaller inventory so that I can have more room for all the ceramic stuff that we're doing. Like buying glaze, I don't know, shelving or something. Potters love shelving. And you know, all of that kind of stuff. So be sure to check out the shop if you are interested. And yeah, I will see you probably next Monday. All right, well, thank you so much for watching and tuning in and supporting my channel, and I will see you later. All right, bye.